Hey, good afternoon, students. This is an intro video to the Drafting 2020 Visualization and Graphics class. This class is kind of a standalone class. It can be an elective for my drafting students, or it can be an elective for other programs. So there's no prerequisites for it. It will give you an introduction to 3D modeling, or 3D CAD using the SolidWorks software. So you'll do modeling, you'll create drawings of various types, and you'll assemble parts into assemblies and do some manipulations there. So it's a broad overview of drafting. It is not a in-depth or detailed instruction in how to use either SolidWorks or to do drafting. So it will familiarize you enough that you can work with the software to do different things, but it will in no way prepare you for a job as a drafter or a modeler. But I think you'll enjoy it. It's different from Inventor. Those of you who have used Inventor in the past, it is different. The workflow is different. So you'll just have to follow along with the textbook to learn the new menu and the command structures on those things. Okay, in your syllabus, okay, the lab hours are posted. The lab is located in room 115, building A, at the North Metro campus. You will have weekly in-class assignments that you will have to come and do every week. And you're more than welcome to come and work in the lab if you need a quiet place to work, or maybe you can't install the software at home. So in that case, you will be coming in every week to do some work. But it's there. The lab hours are posted in the syllabus. We have tutors that are there while the lab is open that can help you out with different things. Okay, so in Blackboard, if you have already taken one of my drafting classes, then this will be nothing new for you here in how to navigate Blackboard. But if you're new to a drafting program, yeah, you need to kind of watch so I can explain how things go. So this is my version of the student preview of Blackboard. Okay, so it puts this big orange banner up here at the top, so I know I'm in student preview mode. But when you go to your course homepage, when it opens up, this is pretty much what you're going to see. You go to the Start Here button, and here's your syllabus quiz that you need to take. It's the no-show activity. So download the syllabus, read the syllabus, and then take the quiz until you successfully score 80% or higher. Okay. Here are the instructions on how to download the SolidWorks student license. Follow these exactly. It's a pretty easy download. However, it is a huge download, so it may take you an hour or longer to download it and install the software. Once you open up this PDF, it will have a couple of hyperlinks in it. One has the system requirements for the software. So you need to check that against your computer. Make sure your computer is strong enough to run the software before you attempt to install it. Okay. On the syllabus tab, there's the syllabus. So you will download that and read it. Yeah, it's got due dates, college closing dates, some instructor information, and a lot of college information. Okay, here on the instructor information thing, it's got my email address and my office number. I'm on campus right now. I'll be on campus 2 days a week. So I am not just sitting by my phone waiting for your phone call. The best way to get in touch with me is through email. When I am when I have my office hours, most of the time, either I or the lab tutors will be logged into the Webex page. So you can access it here. And we use Webex so that we can do screen sharing. And if you're having problems with a software or a particular assignment, then I can see what you're doing, and then I can show you, a solution or how to work through things. So Webex has really been a good help for us here. Okay, announcements. Any kind of announcements are going to go here. This one was already posted, and they'll also show up here on the home page once the course starts, which will be next week. And then current announcements will show up right here. Calendar. All the assignments have due dates that will populate the calendar once the course starts next week. Right now, they're not showing up because the semester hasn't started, but they'll be here. And if you click on the assignment, it will take you to the Dropbox or the quiz. That is not the best way to get to the work. It is just the due date for what is due. You want to follow along over here on the lessons button. Okay, this is where all your work is. And so this gives you some information about the course. Okay, the midterm exam announcement, I put that up early so you can go ahead and plan ahead. And then once you've completed your syllabus quiz, you'll be able to see these things here. You won't see it until you complete that quiz. But the work is divided into units, okay? And then the units are divided by weeks. So in week 1, we start work through chapter 1 of your textbook, okay? So you open SolidWorks, read through chapter 1. It gives you an overview of how the software is structured. And you just kind of poke around in it and look around a little bit. Chapter 2, okay, so anything that has the word Dropbox in it means you're going to submit me a file or something. Okay, and so here, you're going to read chapter 2, work through the tutorial to create the adjuster part file. Save your files as your last name and then whatever the assignment name is. Don't put LASTNAME in the file name. Put your last name, okay? Like Smith, Jones, whatever your last name is. Because when I download work through Blackboard to grade it, it puts your 900 number, it puts the Blackboard assignment name, date, year, time, course. The file name is like super long, and the only way I have to identify who it is the 900 number. So it really helps me a lot if you put your last name in your file name. And then you'll submit it in the Dropbox. Now, how do we do that? If you come right here and you go assignment submission, you go write submission, that's just going to be some text that will show up when I'm looking at your grades, okay, your assignment. Here's where you're going to attach the file. So you'll go browse, you'll navigate to wherever you save your stuff. There's what I'm going to submit. See, I got my last name there, the name of the assignment. This additional comments is just that. It's just comments. I may not see them. It's not a good place to put info to send me. And you go submit. All right. And so this will look like what you've done. There's what you've submitted. And you go, okay. All right. Let's see. If there is a in-class assignment for the week, it will be listed right here. In-class week 1, in-class week 2. So for week 1, it says there is no in-class assignment this week, but before next week, read the following pages in chapter 7, because that will be explaining what you're going to be doing for your in-class assignment. Okay? And so we'll move ahead here a little bit, week 2. The slider block, I had already submitted one of those. Okay. Okay, in-class assignments. When you come in, there'll be a handout that you'll receive. You'll come into the lab. The lab tutor will be there. There's a sign-in sheet where you'll sign in because we have to keep track of who comes in and where they sit. And so you'll sign that in, tell the lab tutor what class you're in, and he will give you the handout that goes along with the assignment. For this particular class, you'll be doing a lot of hand sketches and hand drawings for those in-class assignments. Let's see, and you're going to need some graph paper. I'm going to compile the list of equipment you need, and it'll be over here in the start here. Okay, and there may be a video that explains what's happening. Feel free to watch those videos ahead of time. Go ahead and read ahead into whatever's happening with the week. And you can, kind of plan ahead to help you get ahead. And then once you're in the lab, you'll have the actual assignment written out, knowing what to do, and in the video will help walk you through it step by step. Okay, submit files. All right. After you have done some work, turned stuff in, if you go to My Grades, it will show you, what's what. If it's a quiz, it gets graded automatically as long as you've turned it in on time before the due date. If it's a Dropbox, then there'll be a little yellow icon that you have submitted something and it needs to be graded. Okay, if you get a blue image over here, it means you started into a quiz and never submitted it. So you need to go back to that quiz and then see what's going on with that. Okay, and I haven't graded one of these yet, but if you were to go back into here, click on your grade, you'll go back to my grading screen and it will show you the comments that I have made. If I sent you a file back to review, that will be there. That's how you're going to get feedback on your work. Okay, if it's a quiz, yeah, like a review quiz here, after the due date, if you go back into it, and come here, click on your grade, after the due date, it will come back in here and show you the correct answers. Okay, now it doesn't show it on the syllabus quiz, but that's how you can review and see where your grades and stuff are. Okay, let's see. I talked about Webex. There's a link right here for the drafting Webex page. That's my personal meeting room. Myself and the lab tutors have access to it. It's the best way for us to help you. This being an online learning environment, you've got to make the effort to ask for help. And Webex is the best way for us to help you with that. So don't be embarrassed. You don't have to use a webcam. You do need to use speakers and a microphone, though. Okay, it's just a way of doing business now. So just well, I won't say any place you work, but lots of places you work are using video conferencing now. Okay, so you got to get used to it. Okay, YouTube. There, let me pull it up from over here. Excuse me. A lot of the drafting videos, and there's not, well, there are several in this class. They're in YouTube and they're sorted by playlist. The best way to get to them is from within the Blackboard lessons. You can watch it in Blackboard, but it doesn't, it won't maximize the screen in Blackboard. So you can open it in Blackboard and watch it. Just go straight to YouTube to watch it. Okay, so that's most of our tutorial stuff is there on YouTube. File types. Excuse me. You're going to be working in SOLIDWORKS. SolidWorks has a couple of different file types that we'll be dealing with. If it's an LSDPRT, that's a SolidWorks part file. SLDDRW is a SolidWorks drawing file. There's an assembly file also. Let's see. Those are drawings and parts. That's a part file. I don't have one here that I can locate quickly. But you got different file types, and they're all SolidWorks type files. There is a pack and go procedure that you will use to submit your work once you start creating drawings. It's very similar to the Inventor pack and go, and there's tutorials on how to do that. Checking my notes. I think that's about everything I need to cover to give you an introduction to the class. If you have questions, you've got to reach out to me, okay? Because I don't know you're having problems unless you ask, and that's the bulk of my existence right now, is helping and grading, because the teaching is already put together. So feel free. I respond to emails very quickly. Not at 2 o'clock in the morning, mind you, but I do respond to emails quickly. If we can make an appointment to do a Webex, we'll do a Webex. If you really, really need to come to the lab, I'm more than welcome to meet you there in the lab too, okay? So, sounds great. Let's get off to a good start and get some work done, okay?